What color is Yeshua? The answer is simple. Hebrews, Canaanites, and other people of that region during that time were of dark hues. Dark hues mean all the different shades of brown that you can think of, but from dark to light. If you notice, I put in blue and bold and underline during that time. I put it there for a reason. Why? Why is that?
Because Israel has been mixed among the nations, and they're no longer of dark and brown hues.
Not just that alone. Not just Israel was mixed.
Oppressors came in.
The other nations came in. So, when you look at the Syrians today, you see white, you see, there are some dark people there, but they don't show you that on the camera. Every once in a while you see it's like, hey, look at that guy, he's kind of dark. And he's a Syrian, but they pan away. When you go to Israel, and they show you the real Canaanites, they look just like you and I. All right, let's go to our next slide. Let's get the answer. So let's look at Exodus 4, verses 5 to 7. Read.
That they may believe that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, have appeared unto thee.
Now this is when Moses saw the bush burning, and he came there to see what was going on, and the Most High spoke to him, right? Now the Most High says, I'm going to give you a sign that the people will believe, that Israelites, that you're going to rescue from captivity, is going to believe that I have spoken to you, and I have appeared unto you. Read.
And the Lord said furthermore unto him, Put now thine hand into thy bosom.
Put your hand into your bosom.
And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
What color is snow?
White.
It's white. So if Moses was white, and he put his hand in his bosom, and he pulled it out and it was white again, what sign is that? I mean, you really got to come up close to people and say, that looks whitish. Let's get verses 7.
And he said, Put thine hand into thy bosom again.
Put it back in your bosom again.
And he put his hands into his bosom again. And plucked it out of his bosom.
Plucked it out.
And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
His other flesh, like the rest of his body. So what would Moses look like? We're going to see that in a second. So what is the opposite of snow? Snow is white. So what is the opposite like that? Dark. Now, were you saying something?
Yeah, I was going to say also when it talks about other flesh, because if you look at your hand, the entire body is the color of your skin, but the palms and the soles of your feet is a lighter color. So when it says other flesh, your hand, you'll see it goes back to what your whole entire body is.
Right.
So there is a distinction there.
Right, because there are some really dark people. When you look at the palm of their hands, it's very light. Okay? Now, this is just what the Bible is saying. I didn't write these words. When I was born, and I was taught to read, and I read this, I found it there in the book. Right? Now, should I be angry with that?
No.
Even if I was a green person, should I be upset with that? It is what it says, right?
That's what the Creator said.
We cannot go against the grain. It's not going to work. So this will be a sign. A person who has dark skin, and then the skin changed to white immediately. This is what it will look like. This is a model called Chantel Brown Young. She's a famous model, and she has this issue with her skin. We'll look at that in a moment. You can see how her skin is dark, but look at her.
It's still really white.
Now, if her skin turned white all over, you'd think she's a white woman. Just look at her features. Right? If she put contacts in her eyes, maybe green or something, you'd think she's a white woman. With no problem whatsoever. With bigger lips. Okay? But look up underneath her arms. Just look at her skin. White. This is the background that is white. And look at the complexion of her skin. Isn't that white as snow?
Yes, indeed.
You can see she's in the cover of this magazine. You see right around her breast area, under her arm here, right around her face, different parts of her body, even on her legs. Look at the face. This is another person over here. Okay? Look at this man over here. You can see it around his parts of his face. Now this is what we call a Caucasian person. Look at the skin. Is that a sign?
No.
Can you really recognize this on this person? You can't tell. You can see the difference between the two. This is the same disease. But when it's on a person of color, it's really a sign. When it's on a person that is not of color, it's not a sign. Do y'all see that?
Does it look like he just had a tan?
So Moses put his hand in his bosom. When he pulled it out, it would have looked something like this. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Can you read this, Josh?
Vitiligo is a chronic skin condition characterized by portions of the skin losing their pigmentation.
Pigment.
It occurs when skin pigment cells die.
Oh, hold on a minute. It occurs when skin pigment cells die. Now that's important. Continue on.
Or are unable to function. Aside from cases of contact with certain chemicals, the cause of vitiligo is unknown.
No one knows where it comes from. It's not even a disease, you would say. But the pigment in the skin dies. So, if no one knows how this thing happens, it's not something that is contagious like a disease or something to do with food, deficiency in food. Would you call it a miracle?
Yeah.
Would you call it a mystery? Would you call it something that's in the hand of the Most High?
Phenomenal.
It is unknown. It's beyond our understanding, our intelligence. Of my pay grade. So if it's beyond my pay grade, it belongs in the heavens. The secrets, right up there. Right? Now, the reason why I stress on the word skin pigment cells die, because I want to go to Numbers chapter 12, verses 10 and 12. Read.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
So this is when Miriam and Aaron got together of trying to overthrow Moses from being the leader of Israel. The Most High says, listen, man, I know Moses can't speak too well, but I put him to become shepherd over the house of Israel. And let me tell y'all something. If I got to deal with anybody, I will deal with Moses face to face. Y'all have a problem with that. Now, Aaron could not be punished because he was the high priest. He had to continue his job. That's like the second time Aaron messed up. As if the first time wasn't enough for him. He got away the first time with his skin. His sister Miriam probably figured that, hey, I'm a prophetess. And based on my title, prophetess, nothing's going to happen to me. Aaron is a high priest. So let's go and take this challenge up to Moses. And the Most High says, okay, I'm going to show you, Miriam, who's really in charge. And she became leprous, white as snow. Let's finish up verses 12 and then I'll take some hands.
Let her not be as one dead.
So Moses is saying, let her not be as one dead. As one dead, read.
Of whom the flesh is half consumed.
As if the flesh is consumed, read.
When he cometh out of his mother's womb.
When he, imagine that, cometh out of his, didn't say she. When he cometh out of his mother's womb. So when you're coming out of your mother's womb, you lack what?
Color.
Pigmentation.
Right here. The color has not been triggered as yet. All the babies are just pink. After a little while, the cells develop. The pigmentation starts to come, almost like a Polaroid. Remember the old Polaroid?
Yeah, take a picture.
Thing? You flap it, looks like, there's nothing here.
It's faded.
And you see people like this. And all of a sudden you start seeing a little, it looks like it's coming, it's coming. And all of a sudden, look at that picture. Take another one, right? That's the way it was back in the day. So we can see that one that is as dead is one when the skin pigments cells appear as if they're dead.
It was a time when the wise men went to visit the birth of Christ, and the angels tell him not to go back that side. The people that was in Egypt at that time was dark, not white, because if they were white, the Herod could have seen that person. So according to what you're saying, the people of that time were people of color.
Absolutely. People at that time, that's the word that we have to underline, that time, yes.
And a dead person, their body turns pale when they start to die.
Right. The cells are dying off. Yes, was there something?
Yes, I was going to give you a scripture in Genesis 50,
Genesis chapter 50.
verse 11. It says, "And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians. Wherefore the name of it was called Abel Mizraim, which is beyond Jordan." And this was the time when they were burying Jacob. So all Jacob's family and the Egyptians that came along, they only recognized them as Egyptians.
So the Canaanites is looking at these people like an Egyptian.
Yes.
Genesis chapter 11, verses 27 to 29. Some more proof. Let's see what the book says.
Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran.
So Terah is the father of Abraham, Nahor, Abraham's brother, and Haran. Okay, read.
And Haran begot Lot.
And Haran, which is Abraham's brother, had a son called Lot. Read.
And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees.
That's important because I'm going to show you all some geographical information, okay? Verses 29, read.
And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah.
All right. All I wanted to point out was that the character here is Abraham, who was born in the land of Ur, of Chaldea. Okay? Now, here's a map. Over here is Africa, right over here. This is Egypt, right over here. This is the land of Canaan. Israel is over here. I mean, present-day Israel is here. Okay? This is Rome. You see the foot of the woman? That's the shoe, her high-heel shoes?
Italia.
Right, this is Italy. This is Spain over here. Portugal and Spain. France, and you go all the way up. So you get a picture of where we are. Turkey, right over here. Okay? Sorry, over here, Turkey. Okay, and then over here is Arabia. Okay, now, it says Ur. Ur is right in this area. See, it says Nimrod over here. Asher, Aram, Mash. Ur is like right around this area. This is Saudi Arabia here. This is Ur, which is Mesopotamia. This area is called Mesopotamia. But that's Ur in that corner. So, if you notice it says Nimrod, right? Nimrod came from what family tree? Ham. He came from Ham.
Hamite.
So Hamites are dark skinned. So if Nimrod, a person of color, lived over here with people of color, and Abraham was born in the same region that Nimrod had controlled, the cities were in his control, would you say that Abraham would be a person of color also? Let's see, let's go to the next slide. Now, this is a geographic distribution of environmental factors influencing human skin coloration. And they pretty much give us a color zone where people of color usually exist. Okay, now this is a modern one. But imagine back in the day when people didn't migrate as much as they do now. You can see the range of color. People of color. Now over here you see the hand, and you see the shades from pink all the way to dark hues, right? Now, I believe Israel was more along the line of this complexion, these three right over here. So when you look at the region, the skin colors, you see, the skin hues, they're all people of color. All the way into Africa, look at South America region, Mesoamerica, you look at all the East, Australia, all those places are people of color. Okay? So they understand that, they know that. And then the Europeans are all pale skinned to even very, very white. It's not even on the chart here. It's just not going to show up on the chart if it was there. Okay? Alright. And these people have, the skin can absorb more UV light, more ultraviolet light, so you're not going to get skin cancer. But if you are a person looking pale like this, and you live in those regions, you're going to look very, you'll be very white. You're going to be receiving a lot of damage to your skin.
Yep.
Right? You're going to get skin cancer. So you've got to use a lot of skin block in order for you to survive in that region. That is the reason why these people were able to come in at a certain point in time in history, who call themselves Jewish people. They came in when they had the technology of suntan lotion, or not suntan, sunblock. That's what I'm looking for, sunblock, okay? They also came when there was a technology to utilize tractors, farming equipment to till the soil. Because manual labor in the hot sun, they wouldn't survive much too long. You gotta import dark-skinned people to work the land because they're naturally built to sustain in those types of climates, hot, sunny climates, right? Now that's just nature. We can't argue with that. This is the way the Most High made things. So, the Most High is not going to make a chosen people that cannot live in a hot climate, especially as slaves in Egypt, where you're with your little loincloth on you and you're making bricks in an open sun. And Egypt is a place that usually have a open sun with no clouds.
It's very hot.
Very, very hot.
120 and stuff.
I mean, just think about that. The babies themselves could not be outside in the sun. Little children being exposed, all people working in the sun, they will die quickly. Skin cancer will be high. So when you do the research, you'll see Israelis have one of the highest number of skin cancer in the world. Okay? I got a video I can play, but I won't do it now because we got a lot of stuff to cover. Make your point.
I was saying, Caucasians and people of lighter skin in the European family, whenever they're exposed to the sun, if you see how they are, especially when at a young age growing up, their skin become very blotchy and damaged.
Do me a favor. Type in YouTube how the sun sees you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How the sun sees you. Let's pull it up. We'll watch the videos. It's a short clip. How the sun sees you. So this is what you look like, naturally speaking. This is a normal Caucasian woman. Go ahead, put it to play.
I won't live up to any expectations. What you see is what you get. And worse yet, I can't give an explanation for why it's gray on your side. Better yet, I'll give you an indication for why you're feeling deprived. We'll never let lack of an imagination keep us locked up inside, even when the sun has
says healthy skin is easy to see, right? Now, I'm going to show you some pictures. People who have a little bit more pigmentation, their skin looks no different with or without ultraviolet light, okay? Ultraviolet light. You see she looks the same?
Yeah.
The skin is still dark, beautiful, no blotches, nothing. Now they're going to put on sunscreen. When they put the sunscreen lotion on, guess what color the people look?
The trick now.
Put it to play. Black. See that? You see that? You see that? They don't stop for a moment. They don't see themselves. They don't see that they are becoming black when they put that sunscreen lotion on.
But the sun sees them as
The sun sees them as being black. When they put that stuff on, they walk around, I'm white, but the sun sees them as black people. That's a powerful statement right there. So when these Caucasian people try to mock us by putting blackface on, they don't realize what they're doing. They're mocking the Heavenly Father. You see? I can say much more than that. They hate black, but when they put the sun lotion on, sunscreen, guess what? They now become Negroes.
Look at this.
Very ugly. The sun is looking at her and like, I don't want to see that. Put something on. Now I did that and I was being a little sarcastic, but the reality is that's the reality, right? Imagine Israel being a people like that, with no technology of sunscreen, going into Egypt for 400 years, or whatever length of time that is, or even living in the land of Israel. They will die off like it's nothing. Now let's go to the map. All right, this map here is going to touch on what I said about during that time. Because the reason why we find all these different types of light skin complexion, even in Egypt today, is because of this man right here, Alexander the Great. When he conquered the world, the known world, this is the territory that he occupied. So he was in Greece, and all these areas he conquered. All of these areas he conquered, even at the border of India, Pakistan. Now Pakistan back in the day was part of India. Okay, all of here was part of India. So India was much larger than the way we see it today. But this man controlled all of these places, going down into where? Egypt. So think about soldiers leaving their homeland in Greece, no women with them, and they're traveling far distant lands where all the people, as we saw before, are people of color. Okay? Then these soldiers looking for women to have sex with, and guess what? They sleep with these people here, and the babies that are born now become light-skinned. That's why you find the Egyptians today are light complexion. A lot of them are light, you have different hues, but you find a lot of them. Also, in India, a lot of the Indians are also light-skinned. Different castes. And the reason for that is because this man conquering the whole world, and his soldiers sowing their seed throughout those areas.
Washing up.
So you have this for many years now, okay? Yes.
There's a documentary that I watched about that, with this man who was traveling through the Middle East, like way into Afghanistan area, into the mountains, and there's a group of people that live there that they're white and have blue eyes, and they actually said it was Alexander the Great and his soldiers, when they came in that land, they sowed the royal oats. That's what they said.
All right, so you see, you hear that, right?
Yep.
Let's move on. Next slide. Let's look at this answer. Can you read for me, Josh? This is a little bit of history.
Beyond is Arachosia, Old Persian, Harar,
Huveti.
Avestan, Harax, Vaiti.
Whatever that is, read.
And the Parthians call this White India.
Okay, so beyond this area, Arcosia, the Parthians call this place White India. Read.
They are the city of Bait and the city of Farsana, and the city of Chorochod,
Whatever it is.
and the city of Demetrius. Then Alexandropolis, the metropolis of Arachosia,
And
it is Greek.
it is Greek. That's all we want. So the places that were beyond these old places in India and so forth was controlled by the Greeks. And the people call it White India. So in other words, this territory that was India was noted to be White India because the Grecian people were breeding out that area, okay? They were having children being left behind, okay? All right, so that's all I want to get. Parthian stations, this is taken from Parthian stations, 1st century CE, original text in paragraph 19 of Parthian stations.
Alexandria in Arachosia was a city in ancient times that is now called Kandahar in Afghanistan.
Kandahar in Afghanistan is part of India.
Yeah.
See that? Kandahar, Afghanistan, White India, because of Alexander the Great. Let's go to the next slide. And let's look at this interesting find. In one of the regions called Hada, they found this artifact, a statue. Who does this look like to you?
Caesar Borgia.
Caesar Borgia, also known as Jesus the Christ. Now, this is a Greek statue that was found in one of the places that the Greeks had occupied, eastern Afghanistan. Okay, eastern Afghanistan. A statue that looked like Jesus before Jesus was born. If somebody's seen this, they'll say, that's Jesus. Who's that? That's Jesus. Right? Can you read the background here for me?
Some 23,000 Greco-Buddhist sculptures, both clay and plaster, were excavated in Hada during the 1930s and the 1970s. The findings combine elements of Buddhism and Hellenism is an almost perfect Hellenistic style.
In an almost perfect Hellenistic style. So you got this merging of the Buddhist and the Hellen or the Greco mixed together. Let's go to the next slide. Here it is. You have what? In reforming.
The Greek god Atlas supporting a Buddhist monument Hada.
So you got Atlas is holding up Buddha. You see how they're all mixed together? Buddha and Atlas joined together hand in hand by the Grecian Empire. Let's go to the next slide. This is another interesting find.
Greek clothes, amphoreas, wine and music, 1st century CE Hada.
This is a statue in eastern Afghanistan of Greeks that's living there. Look at the curly hair though. Let's go to the next slide. All right. Let's read this piece of history from the book of Maccabees, 1st Maccabees, chapter 1, verses 1 to 2. Can you read?
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
Now, we saw the history of the Alexander, the Grecian Empire. The Bible also speaks about the Grecian Empire. And look at what it says, that Alexander had conquered, he destroyed the Persian Empire and the Median Empire. He was the first king to rule over Greece. Verses 2.
And made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
So the Bible is telling us the same history. If we read into it, we'll see and we'll get a better understanding of how, because people were of color. How did the people change all of a sudden and you find all these light-skinned people over there? This is the proof. Yes.
That's why they took that important part out of scripture by hiding the apocrypha. So
Exactly.
you will not find the missing link.
Exactly. Let's read on.
Verse 3. And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
Read.
And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him.
Vassals. They became servants. So these kings were still kings, but they were servant kings. Okay? To the Grecian Empire. Let's go to the next slide. Isaiah chapter 29 verses 22. This is more proof that Yeshua came from a people of color. Isaiah 29 and 22. Read.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale.
His face will not change and become pale. That's what the book says. Jeremiah chapter 14 and 2.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
The word gate here is just an idiom, symbolizing the elders of Judah. Because it's customary that the elders, the counselors, will be at the gates. So when it says the gates are mourning, it's not talking about the gates crying. You're hearing the gates crying. No. It's the physical people who are accustomed to be at the gates to judge and rule the people. It's referring to them, the leadership. Read.
They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Job chapter 30, verses 30. What did he say?
My skin is black upon me.
What did Job say?
My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat.
Let's go to our next slide. All right, let's see what Zondervan Bible Dictionary, which millions and millions and millions have been printed. Let's see what it says.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
So he's the father of all dark races.
Not the Negroes.
But not the Negroes. So question will be, where did the Negroes come from? We'll get that.
But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
So all are dark, but Ham is not our forefather. Let's go to our next slide. Another piece from the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. When you go to where it says ruddy, the word ruddy, which is a complexion, right? Skin color. Let's see what the book says.
A word used to refer to a red or fair complexion. In contrast.
In what?
In contrast.
What does contrast mean?
Opposite.
Opposite. Opposite. In opposite
to the dark skin of the Hebrews.
So they identified that Hebrews had what?
Dark skin.
Dark skin. We can't argue with that. These are scholars. These are researchers, right? They know the history. Hebrews originally had dark skin. Period. End of story. Next slide. Now, remember Alexander conquered the Persian Empire. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Persians. This is, can you read this for me, please?
Frieze of the royal guards of Darius I.
Darius the First.
522 to 486 BC. Called the 10,000 immortals from the Ishtar gates. The 8th gate to the inner city of Babylon.
Of where?
Babylon.
Of Babylon. Look at the people. What complexion do you see?
Dark
Do you see light colors all around, white? But the people's hands, the people's feet, the people's face, the hair is curly. The beard and the hair is curly. Isn't that dark skin?
Yes.
I'm just giving you a snapshot of the people that lived in that whole region. This is a picture that was plastered into stone. Here's another picture that was carved into stone. As you can see, the beard and the hair are both curly. Do you see that? The beard and also the hair are curly hair. So the people are not the straight hair types that you find. Blonde hair and blue eyes type, right? Okay. This is just history in stone. The reason why you're not going to find Hebrews, artifacts of Hebrews per se in Israel like this, who knows why?
Because the Lord forbid us to make any kind of a gods.
Exactly. We're not supposed to make images of ourselves like this. Okay? Alright, let's move on. And please don't send me an email about taking pictures and stuff. That's above my pay grade. You can ask the Most High about that. Here's another picture, close up, as you can see. Look at the hair. Circular motion. Do you see that? I didn't make that. This thing is older than some of the hills.
It's the hairdresser.
A hairdresser? Well, the hairdresser had a lot of work to have thousands and thousands of men to look like that. Read for me. This is from the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia about Japhet.
This etymology, however, is not universally accepted as the wordplay is so obvious, and the association of Japheth with Shem, dark,
So the associate Shem would be dark,
and Ham, black,
and Ham is also known as being black,
suggests a name on similar line, either gentilic or descriptive of race.
either gentilic or descriptive of race. So Shem will be considered dark, Ham also black. Let's go to our next slide. Japhet, read.
Japheth has therefore been explained as meaning fair.
As being fair in complexion, read.
From Yaph, the non-Shem and non-Hamitic race, known to the Jews being all more or less white-skinned.
So the seed of Japhet will be considered what?
White-skinned.
White-skinned. Don't ask me, how did they all come white and stuff like that. That's beyond my pay grade. Okay? Let's go to our next slide.
Shem, the eldest son of Noah, from whom the Jews, as well as the Shemitic nation in general, have descended. Though generally regarded as meaning dusky,
Shem also is regarded as meaning dusky.
compared to Siri, Babylonian, Samoa, also Ham possibly, equal black, Japheth fair. It is considered possible that Shem may be the usual Hebrew word for name.
Alright, that's fine. We can stop that. Let's go to our next slide. I just want to show this. Now here's a mosaic that was found in a synagogue, an ancient synagogue. This is August 24th, 2012. Let's see what it says. Can you read it?
In the lower rectangular panel, closer to the door, the familiar story of Genesis 22 is depicted on the mosaic. Abraham is preparing to sacrifice Isaac.
This is Abraham. This is a sword in Abraham's hand.
At right as the hand of God reaches from heaven,
The hand of God is reaching from heaven
to stop him.
to stop Abraham. Read.
Nearby the ram is caught.
There goes the ram, right here, the tail. This is the head, and it's tied to this little tree right here.
Caught
Read.
with its horn in a ticket. And a servant waits at far left with the donkey.
To the donkey's right over here. Servant is over here.
This type of scene came to be known as a righteous ancestors panel and is found in several other synagogue mosaics.
If you notice carefully, you see Abraham has an afro. You see the servants have afros, curly hair, and skin of what color? Okay, except he got like socks on here or something. Look at his neck, look at his face. Let's go to the next slide. The word dusky.
Dusky, naturally having skin of a dark color. A dark-skinned beauty, gold earrings gleaming against her dusky cheeks.
Dusky cheeks.
A smile on his swarthy face. Swart is
archaic. Archaic. So dusky, the word dusky. Okay, let's continue on. Let's look at the word swarthy now.
the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language. Swarthy, swarthy or swarthiest, having a dark complexion of color. Alternation of swarthy from swart.
Now look at the lady's hair. It looks like what? White wool. Looks like wool, right? Okay, so go back for a second. So basically that should answer the question. By the way, do me a favor. Can you pull up the two clips that I sent you? I want you to pull that up. Yes.
We have Daniel 3:24-25,
Revelation.
and Daniel 7:9,
Okay, we're going to get Daniel, so save Daniel for later.
and then Daniel 10:5-6, and Revelation 1:14 and 15.
Revelation chapter 1,
14.
14 and 15.
Saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia,
Okay.
and unto Laodicea.
That's fine. So now, you read verses 1, it speaks about the Messiah, okay? Let's see what verses 14 says.
Said his head and his hair were white like wool.
White like wool, like that lady that we just saw. Woolly type hair, okay? Read.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
And his?
And his feet like unto fine brass. As if they burn in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters.
So all we have to do is look at a coin and you'll see the color of a coin, right? It's dark in complexion. That's all we need. Okay, so, no, that's fine. We don't want to spend too much time on that. I got a lot of other stuff to cover. Book of Josephus, can you read? Right here, number 6.
Upon this speech of Titus, the rest of the multitude were frightened at so great a danger. But there was one, whose name was Sibanius, a soldier that served among the cohorts, and a Syrian by birth.
So this man was a Syrian. Alright, so we all get that. He was Syrian by birth, right? Read.
Who appeared to be a very great fortitude.
He was a strong man. Read.
Both in the actions he had done and the courage of his soul he had shown.
Now they're going to describe him a little bit. Read.
Although anybody would have thought before he came to his work that he was of such a weak constitution of body, that he was not fit to be a soldier.
So when they looked at him when he joined up, he didn't look fit to be a soldier. Like, get out of here. Read.
For his color was black.
His color was what?
Black.
His color was black.
His flesh was lean and thin, and lay close together.
Like those Sudanese, those Ethiopians, when they're running a race. Read.
But there was a certain heroic soul that dwelt in his small body.
That's all we need. So here you got a black Syrian recorded in the book of Josephus. You all see that?
Yep.
All you have to do is go backward in time in history, and then you start to understand how certain peoples became light-skinned in that region. Over thousands of years of subjection by Europeans, they were bred out and killed out to some degree, being replaced by the conquerors and their seed.